Well, hello, welcome to another Comedy Spot Live. Nice to see you today. It's like what, Tuesday? Oh yes, it's Tuesday. Do you know how I know? Because it's time for the show, Who Did It? If you haven't seen the show before, this is how it works. I have three guests, very funny people that have performed at the Sacramento Comedy Spot. Are all going to have claimed to have done something that's outrageous or weird or interesting. And then you are going to have to figure out which of those people really did that thing. And then at the end, we'll unveil who actually did it. So it should be a lot of fun. I hope everyone's having a nice day today. Remember, you can totally comment throughout the show, and I can share them right here. For some reason, my computer's acting weird. But look, Skip is here. That makes me happy. So she says, I'm here. Oh, by the way, Alicia says it's Taco Tuesday. Very important information. Angie is here. She has 3 hands. So it's going to be a good day. I'm glad that you're here. Pam says, OMG, I finally found the show. It's nice to have you here. So I'm glad everyone is here. This should be a lot of fun. Let's bring out our guest. Here they are. It's Carrie. It's Gil. It's Teo. Hello.
Hey.
Hello.
It's nice to see all 3 of you.
Nice to see you too, Brian.
Usually
it's good to be seen.
Usually I can put myself as a little image in the same frame, but today it's not letting me do it. Every time I do it, it does something like this, so I give up. Okay, so here are the rules. You all 3 submitted to me a couple of things that you've done in your past. And then I am going to flash one up there and have all 3 of you tell a really short story claiming that you have done that thing, and then the audience votes. And you're going to be trying to fool people, misdirection, all that stuff. So I know. I'm going to tell you this before I move on. I can't tell you how happy I am to see all 3 of you. I love you all very much.
It's good to see you too.
It makes me so happy to see you on my screen right now. I can't even tell you. So, okay, here we go. Let's do this thing. I'm going to flash the first one up there. And Carrie, I'm going to have you go first, and then it'll be Teo, and then it'll be Gil. So it'll be in that order this time. So let's see. Number 1, I drank a half bottle of ranch. I drank a half bottle of ranch. I'm going to move this up here. And Carrie, take it away.
Yeah, it was a rough day. I had a lot of hot wings, and it was the only thing that was going to satiate the burn. But let me tell you that the next day, my stomach was not happy.
Okay, very good. Teo, you are up next. Tell us the story of how you drank a half bottle of ranch.
Well, I was at a comedy club, and I wasn't drunk at all. And I just watched an amazing show of Eric Andre, and he asked for several volunteers, one of which was me, and he made us all drink ranch, and then he didn't make it. We all made ourselves throw up ranch right afterwards because that's what you do when you drink a bottle of ranch.
Yeah, that's usually what happens. Good. Teo, I think you really did this. Or excuse me, Gil, I think you really did this. So you are up, Gil. Tell us about the time that you drank a half bottle of ranch.
I have to preface it that it was with my brother, which is the person I usually do dumb stuff with. But we were drinking, obviously, and it was just simply a dare to drink an entire bottle of ranch. So I won $50, but technically it was only half filled. So it counts as only half a bottle. Still got $50.
All right. Well, there you go. You have 3 stories of someone who drank a half bottle of ranch.
So gross.
So in the audience, in your comments, go ahead and tell me who you think did this. So was it Carrie, was it Gil, or was it Teo? So put it in the comments.
I can't point at Carrie.
No, Teo, you have to go the other direction. I don't know why this is so enjoyable. Uh,
Physical comedy.
physical comedy. I really want to put my head in this. Let's just try this one more time. Let's just, boom. I'll just stay down there for a second.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah, I could do that. It looks like any other Zoom call. So I like it when it's, oh, what, you know what? Nope. It's. I give up. Oh, well. What were you saying, Carrie?
Oh, I just commend your effort.
I never give up. Oh, now it's. I'll get this sorted out. There we go. It's fine. There, we'll just do that. Okay. Let's see who people are voting for. So, let's see. Gil. This cracks me up. Carrie or Gil?
Did you say they have to get one vote?
Jordan says Teo. Angie says Gil. Crystal says Gil. Dennis says Gil. I vote Gil. Teo, ranch it up. I think that's from Justine.
Yeah.
Nicole says Gil. Poor judgment. Said very good job for fixing the thing. Let's see. Virginia says Gil. And then everyone's just giving me a hard time that I couldn't get anything right. Let's see. All right. Courtney, she didn't vote, but she just snorted. So that's a vote for me. Okay, here we go. It seems like the online consensus is that Gil did this. Who really did this?
that was me.
Yeah, Teo.
Yeah. Gil's story was better. I didn't get $50. I didn't. He was supposed to give me a T-shirt, and they were out of T-shirts. So I was like, all I had is a stomach ache, and I just stumbled through the. I really wasn't drunk, I swear.
I told you that the next day was awful.
Yeah.
It really was. Yeah, I was almost throwing up all night, and I was like, oh, this is what it's like.
Oh, it's so gross.
As
Yeah,
soon
it
as he
was.
said Eric Andre, I was like, oh, it was Teo.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently everybody else knew that he did it in a show. He would just roll up to people on rollerblades and force them to drink ranch.
Oh.
And they would because he's famous.
Yeah.
And but I just did it because like he needed somebody, and I didn't want to leave another comic hanging because only 2 people got up there.
That's so great.
And so I was like, I'll do it. And Doug Pound, his writer, was like, don't do it.
Well,
I
I think only 3 people called this. It was Jordan and Tyler and Justine were the 3 people that I think had it right. Okay, listen, I'm going to take myself out of this. Boo.
Alrighty.
Look at that. Everybody's back to normal. I'm going to, let's see, I'm going to go with number 2 now. So here it is. I was chased by a mounted park ranger. Now, I have changed yours a little bit. I've taken out things and added things, but I haven't changed the meaning of what it is. I just wanted to make sure that nobody could guess based on anything that might give them away, like gender or anything like that. So I was chased by a mounted park ranger. So Teo, you're going to go first this time.
Yeah, it was embarrassing. It was in Yellowstone. One time I went there with It's Complicated, and we took my niece, and we had pitched a tent in a spot we weren't supposed to, and my niece and my It's Complicated, they went off hiking, and I was there trying to pack stuff up, and I respond badly to cops. I didn't know what to do when I saw like a ranger, and it was just the same thing as when I'm in my neighborhood. I ran away, and he gave chase. I should have realized, that a ranger's a little bit more friendly. But in the end, all he was trying to ask is there was some lost stuff, and he just wanted to see if it was mine. So that was a lot different than what I was used to.
All right. Well, Teo, that was your story of how you got chased by a park ranger. Gil, you are up next. Tell us about the time you got chased by a mounted park ranger.
So if you know me, you know I like to hike and do all that stuff. And so one night I was camping, and it was real dark, and at some point in the night you just have to go pee. So I was getting up to go pee, and I was stumbling in the dark because it was kind of, it was out there. It wasn't like a campsite. It was kind of illegal. So I go out to pee, and I have my headlamp on, and I hear this noise. It's like, shit, it's a bear immediately. And I start like running, not running, but just like moving back to the tent as fast as I could. And I go back into my tent. I hear, hey, who's there? And I was like, bears don't talk. I'll check out who it is. So I opened it, and it was like, it was, because it was dark. It was so weird. It was a horse. A horse was the first thing I saw. And I was like, what? Because I was also sleepy, and it was dark. And then I found his face, and he's like, you need to move. You need to get out. You're illegally camping. I was like, oh, okay, I'll do that. And I left. But I think just the sight, I thought maybe he was a centaur for a split second, but he wasn't. He was just a park ranger.
Okay.
And thankfully, he didn't find me. He just kicked me out.
So that was Teo's version, Gil's version, and now Carrie, what is your version of I was chased by a mounted park ranger?
I was with a group of people, and we were going to go cliff jumping, and the ranger saw us when we first entered the park and said, however many kids die each year from cliff jumping, and we all had like towels and stuff, and we were like, we're not going cliff jumping. What are you talking about? And so we like walk throughout the park to get to the spot where we were going to go cliff jumping. And the guy just like on his horse continued following us, and we didn't end up jumping off the cliff. We climbed down, and we were like sweating because it was the middle of the summer and you're climbing down a cliff to get into the water. And I just remember looking up and seeing this like mounted policeman like staring over the cliff at us with just this like mean mug, like. And so we climbed up, and he's like, what'd I tell you all about cliff jumping? And we were like, we didn't jump down. And he's like, you're all wet. We were like, we're sweating, sir.
All right, perfect. So those are all good stories of how you were chased by a mounted park ranger. So let's have everybody in the comments make their vote now. Here, I'll pull myself out of this. So was it Carrie? Was it Gil, or was it Teo who was chased by a mounted park ranger? So go ahead and put your votes in now. It was me, and oh, I can't wait to make this the. I can't make this to this to be the thumbnail for the video. Let's see. Jordan says this one's tough. She was right last time. She says this one might be tougher. So let's see. Courtney votes Carrie. Justine votes Carrie. Mike says, I think Gil did it, but also think Carrie's story is true as well. I'm torn between Gil and Carrie. Carrie. Oh, wait, was it Brian? No, it wasn't me. Carrie, super confident, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah, Amy says everyone's saying Carrie, so I'm going to say Teo. I believe that Brian would be chased by a ranger. That is totally, it could happen. I'm not saying it hasn't, something similar hasn't. Let's see. I'm going with Gil, though he said centaur, and that's why he loves the story. Carrie, although I've never heard the story, so this must be somebody who knows you, but hasn't heard this one. So, okay, well, here we go. I'll take myself out of this. Who really was chased by a mounted park ranger? Oh, it was Carrie.
Yeah, we did follow the rules and we didn't cliff jump, but this guy was adamant on his horse, and he just had, like I said, this mean mug being like, kids are gonna die out there.
Oh man, well I'm glad you did not die or cliff dive for that matter, because I don't want you to get hurt. Okay, cool. So I just want to see the reactions. Jordan is like, yes, again. She picked hashtag mean mug. Hashtag mean mug. Let's see. Oh, good. All right, so let's do this third one. Here we go. Here, let me take me out of this. Take that. Oh, really? We're gonna play this game today? No, it's fine. It's fine.
Get out of here.
Yeah, get out of here. All right, here we go. So number 3 here is I cuddled a stripper. I don't know why that's so funny to me. I cuddled a stripper. All right, so looks like Gil, you're up first this time. So Gil, tell us the story of how you cuddled a stripper.
So I want to preface it again. First off, I was with my brother. Also, as a teacher, I work with special needs, and so a lot of crisis management, a lot of people in tears who have to like talk down. So it didn't actually start like that. It just started with a simple like, "Hey, I would like a dance," and it has like that back and forth conversation. It's just like, "Oh, what do you do?" "Oh, I do this." And that like triggered something in her that was like emotional, and so my immediate reaction was like, crisis situation, let's bring her back down, let's bring her back to earth. And I had paid for the dance, so I was like, I could be physical, right? It's physical, yeah, okay, it's just a hug, okay, it's happening. Ooh, this is happening. Okay. And the first thought was, do I get my money back or to just walk out? But the song, I had to leave anyway, so that's what happened.
All right, so that's your story of how you cuddle a stripper. Carrie, you are up next. You cuddled a stripper. Tell us about it.
Yeah, well, the first thing that anyone who knows me on this commenting thing knows is that I am really against strippers, particularly male strippers. I've had some very, very poor experiences with male strippers, which can be for another time. But this one time at a bachelorette party, there was a male stripper who showed up doing like the whole, policeman thing, and then like, undid their clothing, and then my friend was on the ground, and he was like eating like dollars off of her, and I was in the other room because I was like, I don't want to watch this. This is just not something that I'm interested in. And once he was done with his dance, his performance, whatever, he comes out back. He was a smoker, and so I just like went out back, and he started breaking down, and I was just like, oh, I don't know what else to do. And so I gave him a really sweaty, like dollar-filled, like cuddle hug, because I same thing, like I work with kids too. So I was like, that's all I know what to do. But I was not very comfortable with it. And yeah.
This is great. Okay, Teo, you're up. By the way, Poor Judgment hasn't even heard your story and already thinks you did it. So, Teo, tell us the time that you cuddled a stripper.
Well, I went out. I was with 2 other comics, and like I always am. Also, I wasn't drunk. And I was like, just leave me alone. I don't want to be involved with the strippers, because I also hate strippers, just like Carrie, but for totally different reasons, I'm sure. And but I sat at the bar, and I was just chatting up the barkeep, and she was serving me up free sodas, like as a designated driver. And then this other stripper, there's multiple strippers, but one of them is very young. She came up to me, and she was preoccupied with me initially, and I was there. I remember now, we were there with a guy from England. One of the guys was in from England. He was originally from Fremont, California, and he said he wanted to go to a strip club because he very specifically wanted to see Latinas, and this stripper that came to me was Latina. And I was trying to get her to go, hey, go to him. Do you see that guy over there? He's from England. He's never seen the likes of you before. Go get him. He's got lots of. His money is in pounds. The exchange rate is crazy. Go get that, and so, but she wasn't having any of it. She was just all over me, trying to get me to buy her a drink and whatever. I don't know why they do that, but so then I was there. One of the guys I was there with, he's rich. He's stinking rich. He's so rich that when we walked into the club, he said, "Here, please take my $500. I happen to just have in pocket change." And I said, "I don't want to hold your money, dude. Like, just put it in your shoe. You'll never take that off in a strip club." And so he did that. And but he paid for her. He saw that I was bothered the whole night, so he paid for her to give me a lap dance. And so she was trying, and as she's trying to grind her bottom onto my junk, I like pinned her hips down with my arms like this. And I'll tell you why, because she looked like my niece. She looked like she was related to me. It felt gross, like, yeah. And so then when I did that, then she just kind of slunk into it and ended up being like a hug, and I was like, I guess this is how your father should have held you. And that was the.
Jeez.
I think I also said, "What do I remind you of your creepy uncle or something? Why do you keep bothering me?" And a lot of punchlines, a lot of other punchlines.
Your story got so sad. Yeah. Oh my goodness gracious. Okay.
I don't actually hate strippers. I'm sorry. I feel bad that I said that.
Crystal said this got weird. Oh man. All right. Go ahead. You heard all three of our panelists. One of them actually cuddled a stripper. You have to vote on who actually did it. So put it in the comments right now. Was it Carrie? Was it Gil? Or was it Teo? So let's see here. Let's see. Tyler said that this was such a Teo story. Amy's voting for Teo just for the daddy issues joke. Teo because it got real. Teo. Skip says that took a turn. Teo, the math checks out. Sad plus sad equals more sad. Mike LaRosa says Gil. Justine says Teo. Charlie says Gil. Yep, got to go with Teo. Poor Judgment says Gilio. It's both of you.
Gil was the other comic. He's the guy
Gilio.
He's the guy who paid for the lap dance.
Got it.
It's true.
Paying
pounds.
I can't even remember Gil's now. So, Gil, yours was just briefly. What was yours?
It was basically during a lap dance of just mentioning that I was a teacher triggered something, and it involved me doing crisis management.
Well, Courtney says Carrie for sure. Teo. National Lampoon's movie scene. All right. It seems as though Teo got the most votes for that. Although Lisa just voted for Gil. One vote for crisis management from Allison. People are really committing tonight. Probably Teo, but maybe Gil.
Or Carrie.
Or Carrie. Well, one of the three of you actually cuddled a stripper. Who was it? It was Teo. Teo?
Yes, me. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah. She really did. She looked like a cross between my niece Claire and my other niece Khadijah. She looked like a cross between those two people. So
you're like, no, I don't think so.
Yeah, I know.
Good call.
Yeah. And I really, I was asking her questions. Do you have like a backup plan? Are you going to college, or like, is this, it was totally not sexy at all, because I was just like being a total dad the whole time.
Oh my goodness. All right. Well, let's see. Let's get another one up here. Maybe not one that's so tragic. Let's see.
She made a lot of money though. She did go hit up the English guy eventually, and he gave her a lot of money. Happy ending.
I wore a costume that made a kid's day. I wore a costume that made a kid's day. So we are going to start off with Carrie this round. So Carrie, you're up first. Tell us about the time you wore a costume that made a kid's day.
Yeah, so this year I was not feeling very creative. I am a teacher and I'm a middle school teacher. And for whatever reason, the kids are really into The Office right now. Like middle school age kids are really into The Office right now. And so I was like, well, an easy thing I can do is just be Pam Beesly, the receptionist from The Office. So I did. And one of my students showed up as Michael Scott and had the paper mache head attached to her shoulder. And so when she saw me at my classroom door as Pam Beesly, I said like Pam Beesly, Dunder Mifflin, and then I had a phone that wasn't attached to anything. She like flipped out and was so excited. And I think there's a picture of us somewhere. I don't know if it made it into the yearbook though.
All right, perfect. So that was your story of how you wore a costume that made a kid's day. Teo, you're up next. Tell us a story.
Well, I was actually trick-or-treating with my niece and nephew, and that year we had decided to all wear clone trooper outfits. And we were all blue clone, well, like the blue highlighted clone troopers. We had, I had actually custom made them backpacks where you could stick candy into the backpack. I had like made their guns out of like a flashlight and a squirt gun I got from the dollar store. And yeah, but we ended up going to this, knocking on one house, and this one kid, he had to stay home because he was, I don't know if he had leukemia or something. He had like the nose tube thing, and but apparently like Star Wars was his favorite thing ever, and he just like he nearly died when he saw us of joy. Though it was a joy, and he gave my niece and nephew tons more candy than usual, and that was really great.
Okay, that was your story, Teo, of how you wore a costume that made a kid's day, and now it's Gil's turn. Gil, tell us the story.
Well, I go to Renaissance fairs, and when I go in like full kit. So I have like a chainmail coif, chainmail shirt. I got the boots. I usually have a sword or two. And I was with my dad, and we had this great day at the Ren Fair, drinking mead and seeing all kinds of acts and stuff like that. And during this event, I saw a real cool sword that I liked, so I bought it, put it on my side. Fun day all around. As we're leaving, going to the car, there's a dad with his son, and they're walking by, and the kid, like, I see the kid catch a glimpse of me and just stops dead in his tracks. And I was like, huh, and I gave him a wave and kept walking. And then like 10 steps later, the dad comes up and, excuse me. I was like, yes. Like, my son wants to talk to you. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, he thinks you're a knight and wants to just like say hi. And I was like, all right, cool. So I did the whole spiel. I was like, hey kid, what do you think? And he was like, oh, yeah, because it's real steel. So he touched it. I pulled the sword out, and that was the big moment. I let him hold it, and he was just like, this is freaking Excalibur, and I'm King Arthur. And he was just so happy. And I was just like, all right, kid, I'll see you later. And he's like, are you going to be here tomorrow? I was like, maybe. Then we walked away, and I was like, oh my God, Dad, that was like the greatest thing I've ever done it for anybody. But yeah, that kid was just awestruck. His eyes and mouth were open, as wide as a person can, just like, it's all real. I knew it. I knew it.
I think I was going to say, I'm going to go out on a limb here and say that I think all three of these stories are really good, and damn, I hope they're all true. So just to recap, we had our Office costumes. We had Star Wars costumes with Teo, and then for Gil, we had the Ren Fair. So one of the three of you wore a costume that made a kid's day. So everybody in the comments, You have to tell me if it was Carrie, Gil, or Teo. Carrie, Gil, or Teo. Oh, we're pointing. It's Pac-Man. It's a dog. Fingers. Very good. Yeah, that's my move. Yeah, everyone's like, yeah, this one's hard. This is going to be difficult. Amy says she's going to go with Gil. Jordan again, Gil. Courtney thinks Gil. Do I have to vote? No, you don't. You don't have to. Sir Gil of the Round Table is Dennis's. Carrie from Angie. I just want Gil to get his chance. Crystal is Crystal and Poor Judgment almost at the same time. Both posted the same thing. Crystal said Carrielio, and so did Poor Judgment, like right next to each other. So no commitment whatsoever. All three of you did it. Let's see. Sir Gilead of the Hellscape, that was Sacramento. Yeah. Yep, that's it. No one's really, I think Gil, you are being picked over everybody else. So which one of you really wore a costume that made a kid's day?
There it is.
Gil, all right. Dude, that was when I invited you here, let me get over here. When I invited you on the show today, I found a picture of you, and you had a picture you sent me of your full like chainmail or something like that. And so that I could verify this is probably a true story. And Carrie?
Mine was also true. I just didn't submit it.
Oh, nice.
Oh, good. That's so good.
Teo, did you make a sick kid happy?
Well, yeah, mine was partially true, but my nephew is the one who had leukemia when he was little, but he's all better now. And he was better when we did go as 3 stormtroopers, though. Yeah.
Okay, good.
I think Carrillo did win.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. Courtney had the best comment. She said, "It's hard to lie about a Ren fair."
I was like, how does Courtney know me? There's a couple people I was like, I don't know you, but you seem to know me.
Yeah. All right, let's see. We'll do a couple more here. Let's do number 5. So let's take me out of this. I've been naked in public at a nude beach. I've been naked in public at a nude beach. So it looks like Teo, you're up first this time. So all of you have been naked in public at a nude beach, but only one of you is true. So Teo, take it away.
Yeah, well, I always thought nude beaches were at oceans, but yeah, somebody took me to one that was actually at a river, and it was it's amazing how far you have to hike to get to a nude beach. You know, like you gotta like wear all this stuff to get there, because you can't be naked the whole way there. You know, like you gotta walk like an hour before you're allowed to be naked. And so I had, hiking boots and all this other crap on, and so we hiked there, and then I have to, you have to find where there's a lot of naked people around there, so you gotta pick which ones you want to be naked around, and so we of course picked the more attractive ones, and so that really wasn't the criteria. I can't remember what the criteria was. Oh, we liked the rocks. There was a lot of rocks. There's cool rocks, so we went down there, and then got naked. And the water's really cold already, but you'd be surprised how much colder it is when you don't have clothes on. And then you'd also be surprised how much sand gets in your butt. Like it really, it's like it's supposed to be there. It's like your asshole's a magnet for sand. I don't know, but so yeah. Anyway, that happened. I didn't ever expect that to happen, but it did.
All right.
Pretty recently, yeah.
All right, so that is Teo's story of being naked in public at a nude beach. Gil, you're up. Tell us the story.
Well, it was basically like, hey, let's go to a nude beach. Really? Yes. Okay. So we go, and I'm not very open like that, and so for a lot of it, I was wearing shorts. But there's a social anxiety you get, and I have anxiety, so the idea of me being the only not naked person was like a big weight on my shoulders. And so the whole time, I'm just like, you got to do this. Just do it. No one's looking. Who's looking? No one's looking, or everyone's looking, so it's fine because everyone's looking. Um, but yeah, it was the first time in clothing. So it's like a reverse body image thing. So eventually, I was like, you know what? I'm gonna join an activity. So it's like real casual. And so there's a volleyball game going on by the beach, and I walk down to it, and if anybody was paying attention, it must look so awkward because I walk up in my shorts, and then I was like, just do it slow so nobody notices. So I just start slowly dropping my shorts, and then just kind of casually put them to the side, and then do like a Superman pose after, which I never do anyway. I just sit there watching, and then eventually someone's like, "Oh, do you want to get in?" I was like, "Oh no, I'm good."
Yeah, sure.
Okay. And I put my shorts back on and went back, and I was like, you know what? I did it. I did it.
I did it. All right, Carrie. Carrie, you're up. You tell us the story about how you were naked in public at a nude beach.
Yes, well, again, everyone who's watching this knows that I love to be naked like as frequently as possible. And I studied in France for a year where topless beaches are the norm. And I just decided like one afternoon that I was like, okay, instead of just doing a topless beach, I'm going to go find the actual nudist beach in France. So I went with a friend, and we got there, and it was fine. Like, most of the people who are naked at a nudist beach are like very old, like leathered skin, right? Like the breasts look like they're just like flat and like wrinkled leather. That's all I can say. And older men too, they've got the little like saggy butts that are just like flat and just like, yeah. And like if they bend over, you can see like where the sun didn't get. Yeah, exactly. But the benefit about being at a naked beach in the south of France, or a nude beach in the south of France, Teo, is that you do not have sand, you have rocks. So not only do you not have to worry about a sandy butthole, but more importantly, you don't have to worry about a sandy vagina.
Okay, fantastic. So
that does sound worse. I don't know.
So one of the three of you, or maybe more, but one person for sure was definitely naked in public at a nude beach. So everyone in the comments, make it happen. Was it Carrie? Was it Gil? Was it Teo? Go ahead and put it in the comments now. I'm going to add myself back here so I can, I don't know, just be part of the show for a second. Let's see. I'll read some of your comments. Let's see. ACLU Tier says Carrie is telling the truth. She's really into this story. Lisa just like wrinkled leather.
Who doesn't though?
Skip says leather breast. That's real. It's Carrie.
The details?
The spot the sun don't shine. I'm going to go with Gil because I can feel his anxiety. Naked Carrie times 1,000. I wasn't really listening, but Gil? ACL, poor judgment's like, or Gil. Like, no one really commits to this at all. Let's see. Amy thinks it's also Carrie, but didn't submit it. Let's see. Carrie, Brian, or then Carrie. I haven't been naked on a beach, but I have been naked in a play and at several parties. Britta says it was her for sure. Voting Carrie. I want my ass to look like leather. I'm going to try and lay in the heat. Okay. Most
Thanks,
believable is
Tyler.
Carrie and Gil. So I don't know who's really winning this or who people are voting for.
Wow.
I think it's Carrie. I think mostly it's Carrie. So that's what the audience thinks. One of the three of you did this. Who actually did it?
Me.
Was it Teo? I don't even
Yeah.
remember.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, I'm learning that all I have to do is be really boring, and then people don't believe it. Yeah. But yeah, I actually did go, and I did get sand in my butthole. But I got it out. The secret is water.
All right.
It just falls right out. And then it was really meaningful, actually. Though I found a nice rock. There was a big rock, Carrie. It was huge. I don't know if they have the big rocks in France. I'm not saying America's better. I'm just saying, everything's huge here. And I sat on this big rock, and I just kind of meditated for a while about how much where I had to go back to sucked. Because it was just a bunch of trees and the water, and sure, there's a lot of naked people there, but all of them are just being the way we're supposed to be. And I'm not saying that we should be naked right now, but maybe it'd be better. I mean, my story would have been more interesting. And but yeah, it was really meaningful. And then we had a really nice dinner in Nevada City, of all places. It was really cool.
So I have to ask, Carrie, was yours based in fact too, or was it pretty true?
It was based in fact. My parents are probably watching, so hey, Mom and Dad. I have been naked in many public places, but I've actually never been to a nude beach.
Okay, yeah. See, yeah, I've been naked on stages more than I have in public. Which, if I was in public, I would have so much anxiety. But it turns out when I'm on a stage, it turns out just fine. It's not me, it's someone else. So let's do one last one. Are you guys ready for this?
Yes.
Lightning round. So here we go. One of the three of you once threw up to make a friend feel better. So one of the three of you threw up to make a friend feel better. I think this goes to Gil this round. Gil, you're going to go first. But one of you threw up to make a friend feel better. So, Gil, let's hear it.
Well, it was her birthday, and we were all celebrating. So there's a bunch of us. But she was a real lightweight, and so and I come in like, oh, happy birthday, buy her the birthday drink, buy her another mojito. Halfway through that one, she gets real woozy and starts putting her head down. I was like, oh no, are you feeling okay? She's like, I'm feeling sick. So me being the drunk helpful friend is oh, just get her water and stuff like that. And so she's chilling out. Everybody else is having fun and we're doing stuff. I go back to check on her and she's like, I need to go. I was like, why? You shouldn't move, you should rest. And then she kind of lifted her head and I looked under her and there was just vomit all between her feet. And so I was like, oh yeah, you need to go. So we got the crew together, somebody has to go run and get the car. Somebody has to make sure she's hydrated. And me and someone else are walking her out of this. It's like a courtyard bar area thing. So we walk her outside. There's a fire hydrant. We sit her on the fire hydrant. And because I bought her the drink, I feel pretty guilty. So I'm trying to pep her up and be like, yeah, you make it. It's fine. Who doesn't get drunk on their birthday? But then she heard some girls walking by make a comment. And she's like, she started feeling real bad about it. And I was like, oh, you know what? Don't listen to them. They don't know what they're talking about. 1 second. Yeah, they don't know what they're talking about. They're dumb. Just don't listen. What I had done was walked away from her to the curb about 6 feet, vomited into the curb, and then just wiped my face and walked back like nothing happened. And then she sobered up for a split second, looked at me, was like, did you just throw up? I said, yeah. Okay. That's what I saw. I was like, yeah, but don't worry about them. They're dumb. They don't know what they're talking about. And then we got her home. She was good.
All right.
We had a good time.
It was a good time. All right, perfect. So that was your story of how you threw up to make a friend feel better. Carrie, you're up. Tell us the story.
Yeah, so I was really young, and I grew up in New Jersey and got to go see Broadway shows pretty frequently as a kid, which was really awesome. So I got to go see Grease with a good friend of mine who lived in Connecticut at the time, and we met in the city with our parents, obviously, and went to go see Grease, and then went and, like, in the theme of the day, went to, like, the 1950s diner with, like, birds and malt shakes and that kind of thing. And I just remember at some point, like after the meal, I was like, I'm not feeling, oh no, yeah. I was like, I'm not feeling very well. And she's like, I'm not feeling very well either. And I was like, let's go like wait in line for the bathroom. And as we were waiting in line for the bathroom, she threw up everywhere. And I just like sympathy threw up right afterwards because we'd eaten the same things. And like once you've eaten that and then you smell it coming up from someone else, it just was like, it was two, I think I was like 6 and she was 5, and it just was like vomit everywhere. And the diner people had to clean it up, but we did get to see Grease, so that was
Gross, so gross. Okay, Teo, last story of the night. You once threw up to make someone else feel better.
Yeah, I went with some family friends and a couple of friends from school to Marriott Great America, and they had this movie called Flight. I don't know if y'all remember that movie, but it was like, I think like pre-IMAX. The screen was huge, so like they did a lot of flights in airplanes, and you're in the cockpit or like in a hot air balloon, that kind of stuff. And my one friend from school was. We got out of it super disoriented, and I think also maybe had a like too many day old hot dog or something. I don't know, but they threw up after it, and they were like super embarrassed that they had thrown up because of the movie. And so then I just like was like, oh, I think I feel sick too, and then I like stuck my finger in my throat, and then I threw up as well. And just so they didn't feel like they were the only one that was weak. It worked though. It worked. We both got made fun of, and they felt happy about that.
All right. So all 3 of you claim to have thrown up once just to make a friend feel better, but only one of you actually did it. Was it Carrie? Was it Gil? Was it Teo? So everyone in the comments, go ahead and tell us what you think. Lock in your vote, as they say. And let us know who actually did this. Yeah. Let's see. By the way, Poor Judgment was like, I think I'm the only person that doesn't like Grease or West Side Story or musicals. I don't like
No.
I don't like Grease, but I love West Side Story, and I love musicals, especially musicals with rotating stages. But that's it. Let's see. Oh, here we go. Amy says Teo. Poor Judgment says that she's committing this time. Carrie. Carrie for show. Wait, I'm not guessing anymore.
Thanks, Tyler.
I like Carrie stories best, so I got a couple votes for Carrie now. 3 against Teo. Let's see if anybody else is gonna make a choice. You the Musical is great. Thank you, Crystal. I can't wait to do that show again. Carrie is Dennis's vote with 3 exclamation points, so it counts as 3 people's votes. Hallie says, oh wait, that's not what I was going to show. I got nude on stage during a Grease musical. Oh, okay, that's good. Let's see, Carrie for Hallie, but what's it? What is it? Teo? Oh, okay, they're saying it might be Teo. I Miss You the Musical. Yeah, I think that's. I can't wait. Britta's saying it was Gil. Carrie did it, says Patrick. All right, we have enough votes. Everybody's moving in the Carrie direction. So out of the 3 of you, was it Carrie, was it Gil, or was it Teo? Go for it. Was it Gil? Was it you?
Yeah, it was me.
Oh.
I felt so bad. She was such a lightweight, and I bought her one extra drink, and I was a super drunk myself, so I was just like, I was mid pep talk, like captain speech, like, yeah, we're gonna do this, fuck everybody,
Yeah.
and then hold on 1 second, blah,
Yeah.
and then I come back and just keep continuing. That like in rerunning that memory, I was like, oh, I didn't acknowledge that ever, did I?
Well, when you submitted this, my first reaction was like, yeah, Gil would do that. Gil would do something that gross to take care of somebody. So I totally believe this. You three were fantastic tonight. This was a lot of fun. I appreciate you being here. Carrie, I hope that your parents haven't learned too much about things you don't want them to know about. Okay.
I'm a grown young woman. I can, yeah.
Okay, good. If you want, you could just deny it now. It'll be fine. I never did any of this. Poor Judgment says, very sweet folks. I know all three of you are good people. I know you're such good people. So, Carrie, Gil, Teo, thank you so much for being on the show. And I want to have you guys back on this or whatever. We do a lot of weird shit, so we'll have you on something else too. I hope everybody has a good night at home. Thanks for playing along and voting. Don't forget, tomorrow night we have the Bad Flick Show, and Greg Proops is actually going to be on the show tomorrow, which is huge. Like, who would have thought that? So Greg Proops tomorrow at 6 o'clock. Followed by Movie Libs at 7:30, and Movie Libs is going to be a special sci-fi edition with Marco Caboti. So it should be pretty interesting. By the way, Allison says, "Bam! Tiny statues for everyone. Nicely done." Courtney says, "Happy story time. Good show, great show. Can't wait for Movie Libs. Me either. It'll be a fun night tomorrow night. Thank you again, Gil, Carrie, Teo, and everybody at home. Have a good night. Thank you so much. Bye now."